Hello everyone, welcome back to Undo Studio. Since it's summertime, today's crochet project is this beach wave crossbody bag. It's perfect for beach days, summer hangouts, or just add a chill vibe to your everyday outfits. If you're interested in this, let's get started crocheting together. For this bag, I recommend using milky cotton yarn, but feel free to use any color you like to match your summer style. For attaching the buttons and charms, I'm using liquid glue here, but you can also use a glue gun or glue stick, depending on what you have at home. If you want an easy start, the blue and green kits are also available on our Easy store, so you can just grab a kit and get started right away. Let me explain the structure of these two bags. They are actually using the same pattern. So we will start crocheting from the bottom left corner, working from the base of the bag. The base and the wavy pattern on the body are made using the same stitch pattern. So first, we'll crochet one row of the wave pattern going forward, then crochet a row of single crochet, and then work another row of wave pattern going in the opposite direction, followed by another row of single crochets. Then simply just repeat these 4 rows over and over until you reach the top of the bag. To finish, we will add a final row of reverse single crochet and the body of the bag is complete. For the strap, we are doing Romanian cord. You can adjust the length of the strap based on your height and preference. And lastly, for the charms, the green one is a Lily of a Valley charm, which is made up of flower, a chain cord, and leaves. You can also attach some small decoration using glue, like these buttons. And for the blue bag, the pattern is exactly the same, but the charm is starfishes instead of flowers. So that's the basic structure of the bag, and let's get started. First, grab your color B yarn, and we're going to use 2 strands together for this bag. So you pull out 2 yarn tails. Hold the yarn tails in your right hand and wrap the yarn around your left hand like this. Once around your pinkies, then over your index finger, and hold it in place with your middle finger and thumb. Now take your hook, press it down onto the yarn from above. Twist it counterclockwise to make a loop, and pinch that crossing point with your middle fingers and thumb. Yarn over and pull through. Then tighten the short tail and the long tail to secure it. And there you have it, a slip knot ready to start. With the knot ready, we will start chaining. To make a chain stitch, simply yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. That's it. Let's crochet 5 chains together so you can see how it looks. Each chain will look like a little V shape, and each V counts as 1 stitch. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the bottom of the bag, you need to chain 28 in total. So go ahead and chain the rest at your own pace, and we will move on to the next step when you are ready. When you finish all 28 chains, it should look like this. And make sure to count your stitches to double check that you have 28, so you won't need to undo and redo it later. Next, place a stitch marker on the 28th chain. When you do this, make sure you are picking up the whole V of stitch so it's easy to see where to work in the next round. And now, let's crochet 1 more chain. This chain will count as the starting point for our second row, but it doesn't count as a stitch. For the next row, let me quickly show you how to identify where to insert your hook. Looking back at our 28th chain, you will see that from the front, it looks like a V shape. That's the part you usually pick up with your hook. But if you look from the side or the back, you will notice there's a raised ridge behind the V. This ridge is what we call back loop. For this pattern, we will be inserting our hook into this back bump to start our stitches. You can pinch the ridge with your fingers and gently pull the front V forward. And then you can see this little hole is where you should insert your hook. Now let's start crocheting our first single crochet. Insert your hook into the back bump, and you can remove your stitch marker for now if it's in the way. We will put it back after. Yarn over and pull through. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pull through both loops, and that's your single crochet. Place a stitch marker back into this stitch, so we know where our round started. You can also put a stitch marker back in the first layer so that you know which layer you are in right now. You have one for the end of first round and you have a starting one for the second round. Then we will begin the wave pattern. Each wave repeat will use 14 stitches. We have already done 1 single crochet. Next, we will crochet 2 half double crochets. To make a half double crochet, yarn over once, then insert your hook in the back bump of the next stitch and pull up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. You might notice these loops look separated. That's because we are using 2 strands together, so each loop is made of double yarn. Then yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops on your hook in one go. That's your half double crochet. Let's do one more. Yarn over and insert your hook into the back bump of the next stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. You will have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops at once. Now you have 2 half double crochets completed. Now we are going to crochet 2 double crochets. The double crochet is similar to the half double, but with an extra step. So you yarn over once, insert your hook into the back bump of next stitch, and pull up a loop so you have 3 loops on your hook. This time, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, then yarn over again and pull through the last 2 loops. That completes 1 double crochet. And let's do it again. Yarn over, insert into the next back bump, pull up a loop, yarn over through the first 2, then yarn over through the last 2. Now you have 2 double crochets completed, and you can already see the rise of the wave. Then we will do 3 triple crochets. For triple crochets, yarn over twice on your hook, then insert your hook into the back bump of next stitch and pull up a loop. You will see 4 loops on your hook. Now yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over again and pull through the next 2 loops, and yarn over one last time to pull through the final 2 loops. That's your triple crochet. And we will do it again. Yarn over twice, insert into the next back bump, pull up a loop, yarn over through the first 2, yarn over through the next 2, and yarn over through the last 2. And one more time for the third triple crochet with the same steps. And take a look of our work so far. You will notice that since we gradually using taller stitches, your piece will start to curve upward, creating a wave shape. Now let's continue complete this wave repeat. Crochet 2 double crochets, insert to the back bump, and the first 2 and the last 2. Then 2 half double crochets, where you will go through 3 of them in one go. And finally 2 single crochets, where you will yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over again, go through 2 loops at the same time. Place a stitch marker on the last stitch to mark the end of your wave repeat. This completes 1 full wave pattern, which is made out of 1 single crochet, 2 half double crochets, 2 double crochets, 3 triple crochets, 2 double crochets, 2 half double crochets, and 2 single crochets. To keep track of your stitches easily, you can place a stitch marker on the last stitch of each wave repeat, since each wave pattern has quite a few stitches. Then you can continue your second wave repeat. Crochet 1 single crochet, 2 half double crochets, 2 double crochets, three triple crochets, two double crochets, two half double crochets, and two single crochets. Once you finish this repeat, add a stitch marker on the last stitch to mark the end of your second wave. And then we can see after 2 repeats, you see this beautiful wave pattern forming. In the first 2 repeats, we work into the back bump, which is the back ridge of the chain. And it's a good double check that you use all 28 stitches from the first round. And this is the front side of the bag. Now let's do the back side. For the back side, we will work into the full V of each stitch of the foundation chain. So I am inserting my hook right into the V shape of each stitch. You can see 2 lines of the V shape should be above my hook. First, I will do a single crochet, and then I can hide this short yarn tail within my single crochet so that I don't need to weave it in later. You will just put it above the crochet that you are doing right now. Then is the 2 half double crochets. Just like the first crochets, in order to hide the short yarn tail, we will insert into the full V shape and then pull our tail above it, and then yarn over and pull up a loop. And yarn over and pull through 3 loops at the same time in one go to complete the half double crochet. If you crochet a bit tightly before, it might feel a little hard to insert your hook through the full V of the stitch. Just take your time and use a bit of gentle force. And we will also put the short yarn tail above the hook so that you can hide it with the other stitches. And then 2 double crochets, and you're also hiding the tail inside of these crochets. After it's secured, you can trim the rest of the yarn or keep hiding it with the rest of the crochets. And then you can pause here until you finish all the crochets in this row. So 2 wave patterns, and we will fast forward to the very last 2 stitches, which are 2 single crochets. Make sure that your last single crochet lands exactly on the stitch with the stitch marker. If it doesn't, it means you have missed a stitch somewhere, and it's important to fix it, since it will affect the overall shape of your bag. Once you have finished the last stitch, leave about 7 cm of yarn and cut it. Next, take your color D yarn and join the new yarn. Place the short end of your old yarn on top and the long end below. Place your left thumb on the crossover point to hold it in place. Your color D yarn should be under the B yarn. Then take the D yarn and wrap it under both short ends. Then put it through the middle of 2 yarn tails, and then put the color B yarn, which is the blue yarn, into the hole that your thumb just made. It's important to leave a little slack so that the knot sits under the B yarn. Hold the knot firmly with your left hand, then pull the long tail tight, and then pull the short tail tight, and then pull the long tail again to secure it tightly. After a couple times of pulling, the knot should be tight enough. You can see the knot is really small and it's really secure. Now, gently loosen up the hook a little bit so that we can put a stitch marker on our last stitch. The stitch marker in the middles are optional. You can use them as needed, but if you are beginners, always place the stitch markers on your first and last stitch to keep your edges clean. Then we can remove the stitch marker on the front side of the bag, and then insert your hook in that stitch and pull the yarn through. Here we will make a slip stitch to finish the round. You will see 2 loops on your hook. Simply pull the front loop through the back loop and complete the split stitch, marks the end of this round. You will notice there's a bit of extra yarn sticking out at the join point. Don't cut it off now. Just like with the starting towel, lay it across the top of your work so we can crochet over it and hide it inside the stitches. Now we will yarn over and chain 1 to start the next round. Remember to keep the knot inside of our stitches. So eventually the knot and the rest of tail yarn will just be hidden inside of the bag. Then we will start crocheting our third round, which is the front side of the bag. For this round, we will crochet a full round single crochet stitches, but this time we will work into the back loops only. So you can see the V shape and you will crochet into the line that's farther away from you. For your first stitch, you will insert your hook into the stitch near your starting chain. The first stitch can be a bit tricky to catch if it's too tight. And also we have a knot here, so you might need to use some force to get through it. I lost the footage here, so I made another footage about where you should insert your hook. So you can see you will only insert into the half of the V shape, which is the further line from you, and then start to do a single crochet. Yarn over again and pull up both loops to finish the first single crochet, and put a stitch marker here to mark the beginning of this round. In your case, you might have a knot here, so it might be a bit harder to put the stitch marker, but just put it there and then start to do single crochets. Insert into the half of the V that is farther away from you, and then after you insert your hook, you can hide the short yarn tail by putting it above your hook. So next time you yarn over and do the single crochet, the yarn tail will be hidden inside of the stitch. Keep doing single crochet until you reach the end of this round. And here we will finish our last single crochet. And after finishing that, you will insert your hook into the stitch marker that we placed earlier. Before that, we should switch the color for next round. So leave a bit and then trim the working yarn, and then grab color C from your yarn kit. We are also using 2 strands here. We are tying the knot like last time. You put the new yarn under the short yarn tail, and then wrap your thumb with the new yarn, and then put the yarn in the middle, and then take the short yarn tails to go inside the loop of your thumb, and tidy up the longer one, then tidy up the short one, and then just secure it by pulling both sides. And insert your hook into the stitch marker of the last round, and we will do a slip stitch here. And the reason that we are working in the back loops only for this round is because it can create this raised ridge detail along the edge, adding a subtle texture that makes your bag look much prettier. And let's start round 4. We will chain 1 first, and remember to keep the knot apart and tuck it to the back of your work so the entire bag will stay clean on the front. Pull your working yarn slightly towards you to help you with this. And if you look at the last round, we created wave patterns going in one direction. For this round, we will create waves in opposite direction to give the bag that textured ripple look. Last time, we started our pattern repeat with a single crochet, so for this round, we will start it with the triple crochet. Normally, to begin with a triple crochet, we will chain 3, which doesn't count as a stitch, and then make a triple crochet to count as the first stitch. But here, we are going to do a seamless triple crochet start that counts directly as our first stitch. In this way, it keeps your edge looking clean without any obvious starting gaps. So find the first stitch. It will be right next to where we just chained. Insert your hook into that stitch and pull up a loop. Now pulling the yarn through both loops on your hook. Then, to build up the height for our triple, we will insert the hook from the side into the front loop of the stitch we just made. Pull up a loop and again pull the yarn through both loops on your hook, just like making another single crochet. And we will do this one more time. Insert your hook from the side into the front loop, pull up a loop and pull through both loops. And that's it. This creates a seamless, invisible triple crochet start that blends perfectly with your wave pattern, while giving you the height of triple crochet without the usual starting gap. Go ahead and place a stitch marker here, and this will count as your first triple stitch from the round. For this round, we are inserting under the entire V, so you don't need to do the back loop for this round. Because we are doing the reverse wave pattern, so that the order of the crochets will be a bit different this time. We are doing 2 double crochets, then 2 half double crochets, 3 single crochets, 2 half double crochets, 2 double crochets, and then lastly 2 triple crochets. Once you finish, place a stitch marker on that stitch so you can easily track your wave groups. And that's one full reverse wave pattern done. You will notice that it's exact mirror of our previous wave row, creating the beautiful ripple texture on your bag. For next wave group, we'll repeat 1 triple crochets, 2 double crochets, 2 half double crochets, 3 single crochets, 2 half double crochets, 2 double crochets, and finally 2 triple crochets. And also put a stitch marker here as well to keep track. Once you finish these 2 sets, take a step back and check. The pattern should look like the inverse wave compared to the last row. We will keep going and repeat these exact patterns to complete the remaining 2 groups for this round. And then fast forward to the last stitch of this round. We will crochet 1 triple crochet right into the stitch with the stitch marker. And when you check, you will find out there's 1 more stitch left here. Don't panic, you didn't do anything wrong. We're just going to skip this stitch because that was from our slip stitch drawing earlier. So no need to crochet into it, and it doesn't count as part of the stitch count for the round. And now it's time to switch color again. For this row, we are going to use color A. So take out color A yarn and then tie a knot like before. And then we will simply make a slip stitch to join. If you take a look now, you will see the base of our bag has already formed nicely. Next, we're going to chain 1 and start round 5. You can see the rest of the round pattern here. So basically you are doing a wave pattern, then single crochet, then reverse wave pattern, and then another single crochet, and just repeat it with different colors of yarn. Here I have finished crocheting 24 rounds in total, and you can count there will be 12 wave patterns rounds. At the last stitch, you can cut your yarn as usual, and then grab your color B yarn to join. After joining in, slip stitch into the first stitch to close the round. then chain 1 to begin the next. For the last round, which is 25th round, we will normally single crochet from right to left, but now we're going to flip the piece and work from left to right to create this reverse single crochet. After the first chain 1, you will insert your hook into the last stitch with the stitch marker. The stitch itself is just like a single crochet. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. You will see 2 loops on your hook, then yarn over again and pull through both loops. The only difference is that we are working in the opposite direction. Continue working in reverse single crochets all the way around the piece. You might feel a bit weird when you're first doing this, but just get used to it and you will crochet faster and faster. You can see the reverse single crochet creates a nice and clean edging around the bag. You don't need to worry about where is the last stitch to be exact, just continue crocheting the blue yarn until you meet the previous stitch, making sure the edging looks full and even. Then flip your work and then make a split stitch to join and chain 1. Now you can cut your yarn and leave a tail for weaving, and we will begin tightening up all the yarn ends. Pull out the yarn and then tighten it to secure. You can take out the needles and then put 2 strands of yarns both in the needles and just hide the rest of the yarn into the stitches. And after a couple stitches, maybe 3 or 4, until you feel like the yarn is secured, you can now take out the scissors and then cut the rest of the yarn. And don't forget to clean a couple yarn tails inside of the bag. And that's it for the body of the bag. Now we're going to work on the strap of the bag. Let's move on to the back strap. If you are making the blue bag, grab color B and color C. If you are making the green bag, you can use color B and color E. And you will take 1 strand of each color and hold them together to form a double strand yarn. Insert your hook from the top, twist counterclockwise, pinch the crossover point, and pull the yarn through to tighten the short end, then the long end. Now you have a slip knot, and we will chain 2 to start. Next, insert your hook to pick up the back loop of the first stitch. Yarn over and pull through to make a single crochet. Then you will flip your work and insert your hook from the side, pick up the loop and make another single crochet. Flip your work again, insert from the side and pick up both strands and crochet another single crochet. A little tip will be each time you pull out a loop, you can leave a little extra space so the stitches can stay loose and strap will be easier to crochet as you continue. This method is also called Romanian cord if you want to look up on YouTube for more details tutorial. I have finished crocheting the strap to the length I want. You can also place it on your body and in front of mirror to check how long you want it to be before finishing. Next, grab the metal ring in the kit and open it up a bit to slice the yarn inside. Yarn over and crochet a chain stitch. Then work 2 single crochets inside the ring to secure it. You can pull the long yarn tail to tighten. Then flip the ring down so that it's out of the way. Now pick the closest stitch, any stitch nearby, and just work a slip stitch to lock everything in place. Give it a tug to secure. Make 1 chain stitch, then leave a long tail before cutting the yarn. And you can pull out the long tails now. Next, use the long tail to wrap around the base of the strap near the ring, wrapping it snugly. Then tie a knot and keep wrapping to secure. And don't forget to use the needles to secure the yarn tails. Cut the yarn tail when you feel like it's secure enough, and move the ring so that the open position is on the top. On the other side, we don't need to attach it directly to the ring with crochet stitches. We will tuck in any loose yarn at the end to keep everything tidy. Then we will tie a slip knot at the end, so that this way you can adjust the strap length easily whenever you need it. Hold the strap with your thumb and then start making circle around your thumb. And then tie this knot, and you can adjust the length anytime if you want. Make sure the both metal rings are open up so that you can connect it to the bag body. And then you can put the accessories on the bag, and I would suggest to lay it out once to see where you want to put them, and then you can use either glue or sewing stitch to put them on. Glue is definitely faster. If you want a more textured, elegant look, you can sew onto the bag. And for the pendants, I made another tutorial, so check it out on the right corner to see how to make the stars or the flowers for the bag. Hope you enjoy making this wavy bag with me. And if you are interested in more yarn kits to do more DIY, check out our Easy store, and we believe you can undo your stress into something creative and pretty. Please don't forget to like and subscribe us. See you next time!